Hey friends, welcome back to the shop. It's been a minute since Dana and I have actually been in here to do some wrenching on the cars. It seems like just life itself has just kind of taken over the past few weeks, and focusing on visiting friends and family, taking some time for us to be able to relax and getting the property caught up on its regular maintenance. But we are incredibly eager to get back in and get some of this stuff started again. And the first one is actually upgrading the electrical system on our Toyota 4Runner here behind me. Now, if you are someone that is into overlanding, off-roading, car audio, very similar to Dana and myself, you know, once you start modifying your vehicle, there are going to be a number of those modifications that are going to require power, whether it's lights, winch, amplifiers for the car audio end of it. And you are going to find yourself running more power cables to your battery and looking for a way to increase the ability to add those to it without it becoming dangerous, unsafe, or just plain ugly. Now, I had a number of those cables run into the battery when I first bought this already. So I added some bus bars to it in order to clean it up a little bit. But I knew it was just a temporary measure, because what really needed to happen was build a better foundation for future projects, future upgrades that were going to come along. Now, if you find yourself like Dana and I, and your battery will look very similar to this. Yes, it's very dirty, but like I said, we took some time to relax, and relaxing for us is going off-roading and camping, which we just did this past weekend in the mountains of West Virginia. Here we have our AGM battery, and you'll see we have a couple of power wires running to the positive side of the battery, as well as some additional grounds. Now, this is in addition to the bus bars that I already have behind the fuse box. But I really have no way to add an additional wire to this. There's no more thread left on this bolt, and the positive cover for the battery no longer fits. So I need to actually take care of this to where it's going to be better for some of those other projects like I had mentioned. Now, one of the pieces that I wanted to upgrade was really slowing this project down, because I couldn't find anything that I felt was really going to work for us. With this vehicle being something that is going to see both land and water, because we do water crossings. Periodically, I've had water up over the hood, and I need something that is going to be able to perform in every element that we will end up seeing compared to a regular street vehicle. I couldn't find battery terminals that I really liked until here recently. Now, these are the battery terminal upgrade kit from SDHQ. A few things that I love about this battery terminal upgrade kit. One, it's 6160 aluminum. Two, it is a solid piece of billet. So the only thing that is possibly going to move or adjust are the bolts themselves. Now, you have a 5/16 battery terminal bolt. You have a 5/16 hex head bolt. Top, you have a 3/8 inch bolt for your battery cables to get bolted into, and you have two additional 1/4 inch hex head bolts on the back end to attach cables to. Each one is engraved, so you can see this one's negative, this one is going to be positive. The kit itself is fantastic because they include everything that you could possibly need. You have heat shrink tube. If you are going to cut your negative wire and end up redoing it completely, they include a copper compression tube. then a battery terminal post if you're going to reuse your old battery terminal, a tube of anti-seize, and this may or may not be one of the best pieces of this kit. You have a QR code that comes along with the hardware that you can scan it with your phone with the QR code reader, and it will take you directly to a PDF that has full installation instructions to include pictures. I mean, you can't beat it. No more having to fumble around on a website or go out to YouTube and look for videos on how someone did it. They provide everything there for you. I purchased this directly from SDHQ, so I'll provide the link to it and their website there in the description. Your typical electrical system is going to have either 8 gauge, maybe 4 gauge wire if you're lucky. That system is there to support the factory options that come along with that vehicle, and really nothing more. Now, you could certainly get by with adding lights or other low draw electrical components, especially if you upgrade your battery. Now, if you have something that draws a regular high current, such as a car audio amplifier, you're going to need more than just upgrading your battery in order to be able to support it the right way. Part of that is actually upgrading the cabling. This is really the foundation of it all. So what I went with is I went with the Sky High Car Audio 1/0 gauge Big 3 upgrade kit. I purchased it from Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. And a couple of things that I like about this kit. One, they give you 2 1/0 gauge ground wires that are already terminated and ready to go. They provide a high visibility 1/0 gauge positive wire that's already terminated and ready to go. They provide all the heat shrink pieces that you're going to need, as well as all the termination ends for the other end of the cabling once you have it cut to length. I'm going to say that the biggest reason that I went with this is that it is OFC or oxygen-free copper. You always want to go with OFC instead of CCA. It is a higher quality cable, and it will provide the opportunity to pull as much as your electrical system is going to allow. I won't get into specific science behind it or the numbers. You can go out to YouTube. You can look at real world tests of strapping amplifiers up with both OFC and CCA and seeing the difference between the two. So it's a no-brainer. If I'm going to do this, I want it done right. Now, in addition, I don't have big handle crimpers. Those are typically a big ticket item that you need to spend that kind of money because you're going to be doing a lot of crimping on large cables. Since I don't, I ended up going with an old school, cheaper option of just a manual crimper that you're going to need to use a hammer with. So this, in addition to one other 1/0 cable that I have for a ground, we are going to do the Big 4 upgrade. Big 4 is for the positive. It's positive to your alternator. For the grounds, you are going to ground your battery to the chassis, battery to the engine bolt, and battery to the ground on the alternator. This will give you the best electrical system foundation for all of your needs. And then the only thing that we may end up doing later down the road, if absolutely necessary, is going to be to upgrade our alternator. But I think with everything that I've got now on this vehicle, I won't really need it. The amplifier that we're going to be adding is just 1,000 watts. So everything will work just fine with the products that we have. Okay, so we have all the hardware that we're going to replace for this particular project. So the second part of this series is going to be Dana and I actually ripping everything out in getting the new stuff in. I can't wait to see how it performs. I can't wait to see how it looks after this. So definitely follow along. We really do appreciate your support and following along on the channel. If you like this episode, you thought the content and the steps that we're taking was great, give us a thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. It allows us to know that we're doing a good job with the video, and it shares it with others that are also looking for the same content. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Look forward to seeing you soon.